Hi, I'm MTG, and welcome to my channel where I waste my wild cards on the meme deck so you don't have to. And today's episode is very near and dear to my heart. It's, ready for this, Balto! So, Balto was a movie that I used to love watching when I was a kid. Gotta tell you, it's been probably like 20 years since I've watched the movie. But what was really something that was kind of inspiring for me was just seeing like all the wolf and like werewolf stuff from Innistrad. So I thought that this would be like a fun movie to, kind of do a little deck theme around. So because I don't expect you guys to go watch the movie or waste your time with watching a 90s movie trailer, I was like, what makes the most sense is just showing you the characters that I kind of have the theme focused on more. So, like the specific cards that I picked out to represent these like characters. So, the first character is what the movie's named after is Balto. And Balto is this half wolf, half dog. And he never felt really like he belonged in the village that he lived in. And it was always considered like an outcast from other dogs, and other humans didn't like him because he was a stray and part wolf, so they thought he was dangerous, and so he'd always get like shooed out anywhere he was at. But there was like one human girl who was kind to him, and she kind of is like the inspiration for uh, the movie where he is kind of like the hero, because the village or town in Alaska gets like a really bad cold or some sort of influenza outbreak. And it's based on the true story, or inspired, I should say, by the true story of Balto, which was this dog who led a sled that was carrying vital medicine to bring to the town in Alaska, because planes and any other form of like delivering this medicine couldn't make it to the town. So Balto was the lead dog that was able to bring this sled with life-saving medicine to this town. And I could be wrong on this, but I believe the Iditarod race is based on the route that this dog took and led successfully the medicine route to this remote village. So the movie is kind of like this children's like fantasy kind of thing based on like what Balto actually did to deliver that medicine. So yeah, I don't know, fun stuff here. But one of the cards that I think was really important to include was for Jenna, because Jenna was also like one of the few dogs that didn't like judge Balto for being different, and actually tried to like talk to him and have a genuine relationship with him. But she was also like that, like, oh, the bad boy's girlfriend, like back off. But she eventually becomes like the love interest for Balto. And then you have Steel, who's the bad guy. He is really threatened by Balto because he's used to just being like, I do everything right, I'm the most perfect thing. So he just puts Balto down and feels like extra threatened when Jenna's like actually paying attention to him, and he's like meh. So like that typical toxic masculinity slash like spoiled brat. Like if he was a human, he'd be like, my dad's a lawyer kind of person. And then the fun characters too are Boris. So Boris is like kind of like his dad. He was like the supportive, like parental figure to Balto, and like always really cared about his safety and looking out for him and making sure that like he knew he was loved on some level. And he did it like in his own way by like just trying to look out for him. So I felt it was really important because of like how much he loved and cared about Balto to include him. And then the other ones were these really cute polar bears that were a pretty big part of the story as well. Like, I think they're more of the comic relief, but they also just were always around trying to take care of Balto and support him. And so in this like movie, they also kind of accept themselves and grow a lot because of their adventure that they take with Balto. So I felt like they were characters that should be included in the deck as well. So yeah. But yeah, that's the movie Balto. And if you have time, it's worth watching. I don't know. I think it's a cute show or a cute movie. But yeah, let's go check out what the deck is. All right, here we are. This is Balto. There's 100 cards, and I didn't want to go through all of them, so I figured it would just make sense to go through the characters I had referenced earlier. Otherwise, this would be like an hour going through each card, and my justification for why I thought they fit into like the Balto theme. But starting first, I felt like the Child of the Pack card represented the little girl whose name is Rosie. Just because she was kind of a part of Balto's pack, like in his mindset, and how he was willing to like risk his life to bring medicine and try to save her. So I thought this card was a good representation of like being part of Balto's pack and kind of again referring back to that like wolf theme overall. The next card I had was Balto's. So I thought Arlen, especially with her conflict with like Tovalor and having to deal with like learning how to embrace like her wolf side and still like figure out how to live among humans. And so I think that like kind of inner turmoil matched similar to like what Balto was going through. Like obviously like the less spooky vampire version of it, but still like some sort of inner conflict where you have this one side that's like telling you what you are and that you have to be a certain way instead of allowing yourself to kind of embrace both sides of yourself, and then also kind of coming to peace with that. So Tovalor I thought was like a good steal because Steel is the big baddie in Balto, but also I felt like they both kind of had their same overlap as far as like, you know, being the alphas and being used to kind of getting their way. And Steel, I think, is, you know, kind of matching with Tovalor and the fact that, like, they want to stay in control and be, like, the person in the spotlight. And I felt like Tovalor, as far as, like, from the story, he was really big on, you know, trying to pressure Arlen into like what he thought she should be, and that's kind of what Steel was doing to Balto. And then the other card I realized I forgot to drag over here was for Jenna, which was the dog that was kind of like the love interest, but since she was really supportive of Balto, I thought like her card should kind of have some support aspect as well. And you know, Kessig I felt really matched that because he also flips and grows even stronger and provides even more of a support. And Jenna's character kind of goes through that too, where she gets stronger through like her own confidence and being there for like Balto and helping Balto. She gets stronger too. So with Kessig, starts out with providing that floating mana, and then when it flips, it can make the other wolves and werewolves stronger. So I just thought that was like a good representation of Jenna, who was Balto's love interest. And I guess Kerrigan's trying to add her own review as well. Because she's very insistent on kneading my stomach while also moving the mic. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So, for the other characters that were more like the Balto's friends. Yeah, are you enjoying the mic? Just getting her scent all over it. My goodness. So for Goreclaw, this card I thought represented of the two bears, like he's the bigger one, and part of that was like the bigger the bear was pretty strong, but he wasn't like ferocious as a grizzly bear, and still could like pull through though and provide support or a little extra like muscle power in certain situations that they needed to escape. But he's not like over the top like a huge carrying like factor in the movie. So this one here like didn't synergize a ton because I don't have a lot of creatures with power 4 or greater, so it might cheat out like a couple cards, but I thought because of that like, you know, lack of synergy with all the other cards I have, that it kind of represented like has the potential to do a lot of like, you know, powerful things, but in like this specific context it's a bit powered down. and then it's like a 4/3. So it's not like the biggest, stompiest green creature you've ever seen, but it's still a pretty decent body and has some like supportive abilities, which I thought meant like pretty decently to what he does in the movie. And that's the bigger bear, and I want to say his name is Muck, but I always get the two of them mixed up. For the smaller bear that I think is Luck, it's was hard to find like a bear creature that wasn't super huge and stompy, because out of the two of them he was a bit more of like the thinker and would be like a good support type character to represent through more of like a support role on a card. But there's not a lot of bear cards that are small and I would say don't do big stompy things. And so in this one, I just thought, one, this card's adorable and has a special place in my heart because it's from like one of the first Magic cards that I owned when I was a kid. So I was like, you know what? This goes back to the like nostalgia idea of this deck too. So I went with the Bear Cub to represent Luck. And then for Goose Dad, who was Balto's like parental figure in the movie, I thought again he would be more of like a support role. And what I wanted to pick for this one was like a goose that kind of fit that a bit more. And there aren't like a ton of goosey cards to pick between. Like there's one that's a white card and it obviously wouldn't work for this deck because it doesn't match the color profile, but also I don't know if I'd want to use it because it has arms and hands, and for some reason the concept of like a goose with arms is just absolutely horrifying. So that's another reason why I wouldn't include it in my deck. But for this one, I thought it made a lot of sense because you can create a food token that can be sacrificed for mana or life. So yeah, that's kind of the idea for this deck, and I'm excited to show you guys what it can do. I'm gonna put this tap down land. Tap land? What are words again? It's like one of those days where like no matter how many like cups of coffee you have, you just like never feel like you fully woke up. Alright. We'll put this cute little puppy down. That's my pack zone. Did I nail it? Was I a little out of tune? Possibly. My karaoke song is Avril Lavigne Complicated. It is funny too, like whenever I got out for like a karaoke bar or something, like at least once a night something Backstreet Boys plays, like, and everyone knows the words to the song. Heck yeah. Let's go bonk. And then I think I'm going to put the Reckless Stormseeker down next. That's a good pull too. Okay, I forgot what he did. Probably should have checked on that too so you guys knew what the commander did. So their commander has first strike. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, untap it. If it's the first combat phase of the turn, there's an additional combat phase after this. So it sounds aggro as heck. So what I think we can do here is we put down Reckless Stormseeker. We can give Tovlar the +1/+1, I think, in the second main phase and have it fight their commander. So we'll do that. Yeah. Do we want to attack? I don't think we want to attack now. And then we'll do this because it has first strike. So I didn't want like him to block and then kill my commander that way. So we got rid of their commander at least and removed one combat step. And I think like worst case scenario we can have a board wipe-ish here because it deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Not super hurt that they killed Tovlar there. Ooh, that's really good synergy with their commander. So lets them put X plus X counter until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. I'm gonna go ahead and put down this other mountain. And I do have enough for the Tovlor. So what I'm thinking is they play their commander again. They will probably put a +1/+1 counter on their commander. And then I can put burning down the house. It will hit my creatures, but maybe it'll hit Luminarch too. Because I don't think they'll put the next 2 counters just on Luminarch Aspirant, because they might want to beef up their commander again. I'll foretell this, so it's cheaper. And then I don't really want to discard anything in my hand, so I'm not going to cast Faithless Looting. Let's put it on you. And then let's see what they do. I did want the card draw, and it looks like we can take out an artifact at least. The thing that's giving flying. So just waiting for the old samurai here. That is kind of interesting. It looks like their style is maybe like Voltron for it. So just putting lots of like tough, like, you know, artifacts on it and then pumping it with Luminarch. Oh, I wasn't expecting them to pump Luminarch. I think I'm just going to let that happen for now. It would be funny if they equipped the sail to it. And then I just like killed it. Waited. Oh, it was attacking alone. Okay, so that's what happened last turn. So they pumped it with this and then it did damage to me. So I'm thinking like I'll probably have an easier time building back my board state if I do like a board wipe, because if I burn down the house, right, it kills their commander, it kills Luminarch, and then I have a lot more cards in hand and creature cards I can slap down, and Tofar is gonna give me more cards on the card draw. So I think what I'm going to do here is just attack for like the damage rate that comes in. And I don't really care if anything dies at this point, since I will be doing the board wipe, or essentially a board wipe. Then I can pump Werewolf Pack later to get that like additional damage in. Sweet. So I'm going to drop that. And then next turn, one of them will still be able to die. I will take damage just because of like when one of them attacks alone. But even if Luminarch Aspirant puts a +1/+1 counter here or here, burning down the house is still going to kill them. So I think I'm fine here. I might just put down this though, just so I can get the card draw. And then block like with the body for a turn before I wipe the creatures off. So we got another land. Probably the reason why I didn't want to burn down the house that turn too is like if they were going to put more resources like creatures and stuff on the board, is a little bit of a risk, just because if they get Ryu or Luminarch Aspirant above 5 toughness, then I can't really deal with it. At least not right now. So they're getting that additional combat step. They don't have trample so far. I'm kind of surprised they didn't equip that sail. Okay. Oh, is that going to kill me? Shoot. Woo! Woo! Okay. Sweet. What you putting it on? Okay. So burn down the house. Or... yeah, let's actually attack first. just to get that damage in. Okay. And now we're going to burn down the house. And make sure we select the correct option there. Then I'm going to drop this forest. Going to destroy target artifact. I want to make sure that they don't have flying, just because I don't have a ton of flying. Now their commander's like super, super expensive too. And they said nice, so I'm wondering if they don't have something to block. Because I know they have enough, right, for their commander. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I was going to say they have enough to play their commander again if they wanted to. So we don't have anything with 4 toughness or greater out right now. Could play Arlen. Create 2 of those tokens. They can't fly. My Paxson pup gets tougher. They have to block. I think that's what I'm going to do, just so I can get more tokens out. For whatever reason, they can like tap me down. I at least have a blocker. Okay, and then they again have to block with their commander. So I don't know if maybe that was just them trying to stall for time or not, or if they actually have something up their sleeve. But with their commander being so expensive now, I don't know like when they're going to be able to play it again. Oh, that's a really good card. So they get to either create a 3/1, a 2/1, or a 1/2. Oh, and they called it quits. GG. La la, it's game time. Okay. I do like removal, but I don't like only having 2 mana in my hand. So, trying again. Okay, this seems better. I got a ramp spell and stuff. Play Hydra first. Oh, we got the cute bear cub! We got one of the movie characters. I think it's Luck. Not Mock. I think Luck was the small one. Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Then if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform search. So is this a mill deck? Sorry, I'll resolve that, friend. Whenever 1 or more non-creature permanents are returned to your hand, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So I'm wondering, are they just trying to feed their graveyard and return those cards back to their hand? Okay. Let's put down this mountain and get my cute little bear out. This is like an old card too, because I'm pretty sure like back in the day when I was playing, like when I was in like elementary school, I had a few of these. And I think I was playing like when it was like 7th edition or something. Let's put the command tower down. And then, because we got it, let's slow down their strategy a little bit with their commander. They said nice, and I'm guessing they don't actually mean it. Or did they mean it? Does that count as like going back to your hand? Because it goes to the exile zone. Oh, they quit. Was it because I killed their commander? I'll take it. I'm so bummed. I totally forgot to hit record on the last game that we beat some spider tribal deck, and I totally forgot to hit play. Ah! Well, at least I remembered this time for recording. What is the commander they got? Oh, it's a fellow Gruul. She's a Engi Centaur Druid. Whenever you can't cast non-creature spells. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land can produce. So it looks like rampy, and then they're probably just like a pure creature deck, so they'll probably have like a really aggro start. This is a very slow start, so I should probably mulligan just to have something out there to kind of say hello and aggro them back. Yeah, I got a few early plays. So yeah, they're trying to get the ramp in where they can. So I'm guessing they're just going to be throwing lots of big creatures at me. So next, I'm going to put down a snow-covered forest, drop a Paxson Pup, and then Bird Admirer. Ah, nice. I would love that start. 2 damage. We need 3 snow permanents, so next turn we can use this to kill the werewolf pack leader, and then hopefully slow down their momentum a little bit here. I was hoping to put another creature on the board, but I think it's more worth it to take out their werewolf pack leader. So, boop. I'm gonna just say hello and bonk ya. Take out your little werewolf pack leader. All right. Gonna be, you know, like it's the battle of the aggro when you're like swinging in with your mana dorks. Okay. So, what makes sense here? I could put down Tovalor. I think I want to do that just so I can start getting the card draw in and like build up my momentum a bit more, because I think momentum, like keeping up the pressure on them, is going to be really key, just because they get crazy ramp, and I'm assuming by the time they get to like mana ability, as far as like mana to be able to use to cast, if they get like 5 or more, they're probably playing like these huge creatures. So I kind of feel a little bit of pressure to just get stuff out and fighting, and also just having blockers myself. So they'll be able to start generating more mana too, so I'm guessing I have like 1 or 2 more turns before they get like their really big creatures out. And then we'll see how they're gonna try blocking. They're probably just making sure I can't do like any weird tricks, but I'm just trying to get that card draw. Alright. What's their toughness? 5/5. We got a Trassa. Oh. Girlfriend just bought me a Red Bull. Gotta appreciate it. Thanks, love. Ooh, we flipped. Okay. So the Atrasta is an enchantment creature, and I believe this should kill it. Yep. So we can bonk them, and it doesn't trigger the token here because it's whenever your opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they get to create a spider. So the channel ability let us get around that, which is super really heckin' dope. Heckin' freaking cool, bruh. What you thinking about, friend? Okay, I guess they're thinking about their land. So I'm going to tap this, and I'm just, again, trying to focus on slowing them down as much as possible. So I'm focusing this to kill it so they can't make as much mana. And then I will drop Reckless Stormseeker and hope they don't have some level of board wipe here. And then gonna attack with these guys. I'll leave my 1/1 insect. Oh, I was gonna leave this back just so in case they drop something with haste, just to have like an additional chump blocker. But I'm guessing we out like paced what they were able to do as far as like the aggro plays. So that feels good. All right. Oh, Tiamat. This will be interesting. I think it's going to have to be kind of like the similar strategy as the last match, where we start off trying to be hecka aggro before they get their like key pieces on the board. This is kind of hecka aggro. I think I'll keep it. We'll see where it goes. So I'm going to probably play this tap land down first. and then that way we can put the command tower down, get werewolf pack leader, and then we still have this possible removal up if need be. I think like the first chunk of this game is going to be them trying to like mana fix more, and then that'll give us some time to just go face and hopefully build up a bit of a board state. We do have to be conscientious of making sure we're not like playing into any like board wipes and stuff that'll just totally shut us out. Well, beginning your upkeep, each dragon card in your hand perpetually gains... Oh, that is really bad. Sorry, you're cute, but you're dead. Get out of here. That is a scary... That was such a cute little dragon, too. Holy heck. That would have murdered the heck out of us. Because then they can cheat so many other dragons out. Wow, that's a crazy card. That was from like alchemy, huh? Yeah, jeez. That's a no for me, friend. We're doing pretty good on land, so I don't think I necessarily need to ramp yet. I'm gonna put Tovalor down just so I can start getting that card draw. Oh, what if we won by just doing this? I kind of am tempted for like the classification like win at some point. Whew. All right. Oh, we got one of the other characters. Part of me wants to play it just because of that, but we are playing against a spooky dragon right now, and we need our wolfy friends. So I think I'm just gonna keep like being aggro and going face in hopes that we can kill them before they get a dragon down. Ooh, and some card draw going. Getting a heck of card draw. Mirrored. So we got 1, 2, 3, 5. Beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more wolves, it becomes night, then transform any number of human werewolves you control. Okay. I don't know what I was submitting. Was I supposed to submit something? Did I just accidentally click through on that? So I think what's going to be really fun next turn is when I drop down Castle of Emerith, and then I can classification one of these guys. Probably Werewolf Pack Leader, so then that way it can have like trample. What do I want to play first, though? I'll put Garrick's Uprising down. And then that basically has kicker, so I can play that. Maybe if they do happen to pull off a board wipe, but my goal here is to try to get like as much ramp going as possible. Part of me wants to swing in here too, but I think it's smarter not to because I'm going to lose a creature, and then he won't keep flipping all the other werewolves for each of my turns. So we are going to miss out a bit on that card draw, but at least we can make one of these like stupid stompy big. I'm actually really excited if that works out. I really hope it does. Because even I think if they do, they would have to have like a removal or a counter spell ready, right? They do have like 3 land up right now, so there's a possibility that they have a counter spell. But oh boy, would that be a fun win. This used to be like one of my favorite cards as a kid too. I'm pretty sure there was like a version. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with like Growth. Okay, so we're going to drop this land down. And classification. Let's give it to the infested werewolf. Are they going to counter it? Please don't. No! That's all I wanted. It's so sad. Man. Yeah, I still don't think it's smart to swing in yet. I was really hoping that was going to happen, though. That would be so freaking funny. Tiamat. Really sad. That classification would have been so cool. I'm pretty sure this is a reprint of like an old card that was like around when I was a kid. Unless I'm mixing it up with like some other growth type card. But I'm pretty sure they had like a give a creature 20/20. Old Gnawbone. Yep, they got the worst, best dragons. Okay. Let's bring this friend out. So they can pretty much win next turn. I kind of think I have to just go all out, right? Because I don't think there's anything else I can do. And maybe I made the mistake by holding back before. And maybe not. I can kill Tiamat at least. I'm going to drop this and hit Tiamat. So then the Star Commanders cancel each other out. And put him in the command zone. But I don't think that's going to be enough to really save me here. I just got more ramp in my card draw too. It's like removal, so we got our little ramp, removal, creature babies. Maybe I can? Because I guess if they put Inferno down, I think they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. It was 4 damage to any target creature and 3 damage to up to 2 others. Okay, so they can potentially kill a good chunk of my board when it attacks. Okay. Ooh, Thundering Rebuke. Okay. How are we going to play this? Oh, I think I can just kill that. So, right, let me double check I'm reading a braid right. Yep. Okay. So we're going to use Thundering Rebuke. And then 3 damage to remove that. Can I still play Torvalor? No. We're going to then just YOLO it and swing out and hope for the best. Because I think removing that dragon was like our only chance there. Oh my god. Ooh, I'm so scared. Oh, we did it! I thought, oh my god. What? Balto! You were against the odds. Well, if you're here, it's because you were brave enough and friendly enough to stay till the end. So I kind of goofed a little bit when it came to, recording to all of this stuff. I didn't hit record for one of the wins. And then the first 2 games I played were like against a Joda and a Golas deck, which, as you can imagine, those are very powerful decks, and I did not do well. And so I figured you didn't want to watch 15-minute games where I think someone like lagged out for part of it to like watch me play 15-minute long game where I just got my butt handed to me. So I lost the first 2. First one, Joda. Second one, Golas. Butt kicked. Not good. And then the other game was against like some spider I'd never heard of. I think it's like an alchemy spider. It was like a 4-drop green, and it was like a spider tribal. I Shrek'd it. However, I forgot to hit record. And to sprinkle some more fun, usually I like to try to show like the untapped like GG stuff just so you can kind of see a little bit of the deck review and some of the stats and then like the color types that like the deck did really good against. But I must have not been like logged in or something because it didn't record like any of those games. So I don't really have those stats other than like anecdotally to tell you that I played 8 games and I won 6 of them and lost 2. So I don't know if that really matters to you or not, but that was basically the overall record of how this deck did today when I played 8 games. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I really liked it just because of like the childhood nostalgia with it. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out, and I hope that was somewhat informational. But yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.